You are now tuned in to the Dads Who Lift podcast. Please give us a like, share, subscribe to the YouTube account. We are on www.dadswholiftofficial.com. All the podcast links are in there. We also have an apparel line. We're on IG as Dads Who Lift Official handle. We're on Facebook, Dads Who Lift Podcast. We also have a Dads Who Lift fitness group on Facebook that's Dads Who Lift Official. A group of 30,000 like-minded dads that are just trying to be their best selves and staying fit. If that's something you're into, please check it out. But we do this stuff for free, guys, so please give us a like, share, 5-star review. We really appreciate your support. You are now tuned into the Dads Who Lift podcast. You have your host, Tyler Gata.
Co-host, Joel Staley.
First off, we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. We missed a podcast last week. Out of our control, we actually had our producers were down sick. And couldn't reschedule because of the holidays, just how it worked out. So apologize for that, guys, but Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. This podcast is going to drop on New Year's Day. And so we want to do some sort of a New Year's topic, but I don't want to do the general like, hey, here's how you bring in a successful New Year, although that is kind of what we're going to talk about. But I want to do it with a little bit of deeper context, I guess. And so what Joel and I were talking about and thinking about is this topic of you versus you. And I posted a meme. I actually can't find the fucking meme. It was back in like beginning of December. But I posted this meme that was basically about you versus you and how you are your biggest enemy. And I actually had a lot of guys from the Dads Who Live group that follow me personally comment on it. And ask, like, do you really deal with this every day? Like, you seem like you got it all put together. You got it going on. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I deal with this every day. Like, everybody deals with this shit every day. You know what I mean? And the thing is like, there's this fallacy that successful people are people that have things going on, like, you know, shit, butterflies and rainbows, and that nothing bad ever happens and things just come so easy and things always work. And it's, you know, they don't have the same struggles that everybody else does, and it's all a crock of shit. And they might have different struggles, you know, different caliber of struggles, but everybody still has struggles. And so the whole you versus you to me, I guess, like, I try to be a fucking baller. I try to be a grinder. I try to work my ass off. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean every single morning I wake up motivated. You know, there's plenty of mornings I wake up where I just want to go back to fucking bed. You know, I'm not ready to get out of bed. And so it is a daily struggle of pushing yourself forward. And not every day is like that, but there's definitely some days like that. I'm sure you can attest to that, Joel.
Dude, huge. I feel like even talking to you that you're more naturally motivated than I am. I always go in ebbs and flows where I'll have a really good week, hitting the gym, eating clean, DMing people, hustling, trying to grow the business. Everything's going great, working long days. It's all good. No booze, nothing like that. And then, I don't know, something will happen. I'll slip up. I'll start drinking. I'll start blowing off sales calls because I'll just tell myself they don't look like a good fit. I'll start sleeping in, and then I'll have like a shitty week after a while, and I'll be like, oh shit, time to get back on it. And it's something I always struggle with. So 100% with you.
And so that's kind of my whole point of this whole podcast is you are your biggest enemy. And that can be good and bad. You know what I mean? If you know that you're your biggest enemy, then you can harness that and become your biggest advocate, you know, because you're the only one that's going to propel you forward. But if you don't know that you're your biggest enemy, then you're kind of fucked. So that's kind of the first part, right? But the fact of the matter is that nobody is going to hold you back except for yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody else says, unless you're a fucking, you know, child in your parents' house getting abused, which is obviously different than what we're talking about. We're talking about grown adults. But it doesn't matter what anybody tells me. It doesn't matter what anybody says to me. It doesn't matter if somebody says, hey, you can't do that. You won't do that. You won't be successful at that. The only thing that matters is that I do it, that I move forward, that I follow my passion, that I follow my goals, that I follow my dreams, and that I don't stop. And when I get fucked is when that voice that's saying, hey, you can't do that. You're not good enough for that. You're not going to be successful at that. You can't win at that. Or what are you thinking? You think you can go out and do that? You think you can go out and make $500,000 a month coaching? You really think you can do that? When I get fucked is not when that voice is somebody else. I get fucked when that voice is me. And that's the whole point of you versus you. You know what I mean? When that negative impact and that self-doubt is in my head, then that is when I don't propel forward. But if I keep my mindset right and I say, fuck that, I don't care what anybody says, I'm doing what I'm going to do no matter what, that's when I always drive forward.
Yeah, it's important to know, and a lot of people that do my program figure this out. It's one of the first things you figure out when you have a good coach is that there's always our current self is always at battle with our ultimate self, the self that we're striving to be, that we were ultimately put here to be. And so a lot of times we'll talk about that inner bitch voice.
Yep.
Where say like you're doing a 48-hour fast, just for an example, you might make it 24 hours. It's 7:00 at night.
That's totally me.
It's when you're just like sitting on the couch with the family watching Netflix, you're bored. And then all of a sudden when you're bored, that inner bitch voice gets really loud. Well, you already made it 24 hours. You could, if you eat clean right now, then that's still really good.
Yeah.
Even though you committed to yourself and to everyone else, you're going to do 48 hours. Well, that's basically your inner bitch voice. And what you'll realize is that just again, in this example, if you eat that night and you break your commitment to yourself, me specifically, I'll wake up that next day and I'll just, my first gut feeling, my first feeling in my head is like, oh man, I fucked
Feel
up.
like a pile of shit.
If I had just powered through that last couple hours, I'd be waking up today like I did it. And I've been on that flip of the that end of the coin too, where like, man, I wanted to eat, I wanted to do this. Just like you work long ass day, you could cut it off at like 4:00. Say I still got all this stuff done. Now I have more time to do stuff I want. But if you just commit to doing it all at the end of the day when you're going to bed, you just get that. Man, I had that chance to bitch out, but I powered through. I didn't listen to that inner bitch voice, and you just feel ultimately way more happier. It's like happiness versus contentment in the moment. So that's what it really comes down to is, God, Caleb Moran posted a good quote, I think last week, that was like, the only thing getting in the way of your long-term happiness is your short-term, like, gratification or something like that.
Yep.
And that's 100% true.
Yep. Yeah. This podcast this morning is a prime example. One of my main companies is a lawn stone landscape company, as a lot of you know. And we're out of here in Omaha, Nebraska, and we just got hit with like 8 inches of fucking snow. And so I haven't slept much in the past couple of days. And my guys are actually still out pushing right now. But since we missed last week, I definitely wanted to come in here and get you guys something for New Year's Day, because it means a lot to me and we want to provide and add value. But dude, it went through my mind at least 10 times last night. I should probably cancel that podcast. I mean, I'm literally running on like an hour of sleep right now in the past 2 days. I looked at my Whoop this morning. But you got to just go, man. I mean, if it's something that means something to you, then it's worth it. And I think that's what a lot of the driving factor for me is on this you versus you. What I found is, as long as I'm following my passion, then it's worth the drive. It's worth the work. It's worth when you're following your passion, it's still going to be hard work. I'm not saying that it's not hard work. There's still going to be tough times. But you get this achievement out of it, and you feel better out of it. And so when you're not following your passion, you're grinding that hard, it kind of feels empty and pointless sometimes, So I think that's a big thing into it also. Excuse me, to add to what you were saying, one of the guys that, posted on that was like, hey, do you actually deal with this? And I was like, every day, brother. And he's like, what are some techniques? What are some of your techniques you use to combat this? And so I just want to read these are just quick answers that I sent to him.
You want to give that guy a shout out just for...
this guy from the group was, Tyler Ryan.
What's up, Tyler
Ryan? Tyler Ryan from Dads Who Lift official group. And I appreciate you reaching out. And there's actually been a lot more people reaching out lately through the podcast and about the podcast and things like that. And I love it, man. Keep it up. I appreciate it. Makes me feel good. It makes me feel like we're actually doing something, that we're providing value to people. And I love getting that back. But some of the just quick things that I sent him, as I said, he said, what are some techniques? What are some of your techniques I said, I don't take no for an answer. That's a big one. And that's not only from other people, that's from myself. So Joel and I have talked about this. Well, I got it in here too, but zero tolerance for failure. And we've talked about this before, where, I used to think that this was a weakness of mine, that I had no middle, that I was either in or out. Like I'm either off or on, I'm either not going to fucking do something, or I'm going to give it everything that I've got, and I used to think that that was a weakness of mine, to not have a middle. But I found it to be my superpower as I get older. And I truly believe that. So don't take no for an answer, and zero tolerance for failure. And I truly live that. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to give it everything that I have. And I feel good when I give it everything that I have. And that's why I do it. When I try to do something that I want to do, and I don't give it everything I have, or a half-ass it, or a half-rep it, and I fail, then I feel like a pile of shit. And I don't want to feel like a pile of shit. That's the whole fucking point, right?
Plus, at the end of the day, if you do fail and you only half-assed it, then you're left with that, well, what if I had fucking full-repped it? Would I have made it then? So at least that way, if you full rep it and you fail, it's a learning experience. You can say, all right, that didn't work, but I got some feedback, so now I know this will probably work. But if you half rep it and it doesn't work, well, then you're left with did it not work because it doesn't work? It doesn't make sense? Or did it not work because I phoned it in a little bit?
Right. So many people say, they look at the negative of something. They say, well, what if this happens if I try to do this? What if I fail? What if this happens? And I've seen this multiple times in like memes, and I love it. And this is the way I try to really look at things, is I say, what happens if it works out? They're always saying, what happens if it doesn't work out? Shit. What if I do that and it doesn't work out? What if you do that and it does work out? What if you do it and it works out exactly how the fuck you wanted it to work out? Then what? Isn't it worth the risk? So some other points that I had, these all kind of roll together. Don't accept anything less than what I don't accept anything less than what I want. So that kind of goes with the other two of zero tolerance for failure and don't take no for an answer. I'm not going to accept less than what I want in my life, what I want from my goals, or what I know that I'm worth, and this comes with knowing your self-worth and knowing what you want in life as well. But if I want to have just throw an example out there. If I want to have a $5 million company, I'm not going to accept having a $1.5 million company. If I want to, make $100,000 in coaching sales my first month, I'm not going to accept making less than that. I mean, I'm going to be grinding that last fucking day of the month until 2 or 3 in the morning, doing whatever the fuck I got to do to make sure that I make that last little bit to get there. You know what I mean? And another big one that I have down too is positive affirmations daily. And this is one that kind of sounds fucking foofy and stupid, but this has been something that's been huge for me. Coming from someone that in my past has had a lot of mental issues, like mental anxiety, depression, things like that, and a lot of negative self-talk. You don't realize how much that stuff is kind of imprinted into your mind. And you'll have those thoughts without even thinking about it, So I started doing this a while ago, where every morning I'll write down like 15 to 20 positive affirmations. And I actually have my son write down 5 every morning. I try to. Sometimes I forget, to be honest. But I try to have my son write down 5 positive affirmations every morning before he goes to school too. And I wanted to start it with him early. But those positive affirmations are gold. And I write them down. I read them. I think about them every single morning. It's a great way to start my day. And then if I ever feel like I'm falling off throughout that day, I keep my notebook with me. Or I've snapped a picture of them before and had them on my phone. And if I ever feel like my thoughts are dropping throughout a day, or I'm heading in a negative direction, or I'm in a shitty mood, or I'm having troubles pulling myself out, of a negative place, just had a shit day or whatever, stuff happens, I'll pull those back up and reread them, maybe 10 times. And I always end up feeling better about myself afterwards, You want
to hear something pretty crazy?
Yeah, I do.
So I can't tell you. I kind of alluded to you last week when we were talking, but not a very religious person whatsoever. Yeah. You know that.
Yeah, but he's finding the Lord.
I will say that just some stuff I've been going down some rabbit holes. I've been looking into some stuff, and for the first time in about 15 years, I've said like 2 prayers this week, which awesome, I haven't prayed, and I just have never really since I was a kid and went to Catholic school, I've never really thought there was like a creator or a guy. I thought universe and evolution, all this stuff like they tell you, but been going down some rabbit holes. I'm like, man, maybe I've been wrong this little bit of time. So last night I actually found myself in bed before I keeled over and went to bed. Just like, hey man, it's been a while, but just wanted to throw you a line and say thanks for, the wife, daughter, dog, business, friends, like everything that we're in the US of A, the best country in the world. And it makes a big difference, man, when you just take a second out of your time to say thanks and what you're appreciative of, and remind yourself the type of person that you are ultimately striving to be. I find it's huge.
So I fucking love that, and I do believe in God, and I do. I mean, that makes me smile that I hear that you're actually like dabbling in it. I think it's fucking awesome. And
if I told you how I got there, you think I'm the fucking nuts?
No, I probably already know. Well, not exactly, but I've got a probably pretty good idea. But I 100% believe in God. I 100% believe in a creator, and I can feel it, man. I mean, I know it. I can feel it, and he'll find you when you're least expecting it. And that's usually how it works out. And so I don't know. I think that's awesome, but there's great power in gratitude, and that's what comes with those positive affirmations as well. Not only are you speaking positively about yourself, but you're also humbling. It's like a humbling thing to bring you to gratitude, to be appreciative of what you have. And I've also done, I don't have that down on this list, but I've also done gratitude affirmations as well to help me get out of a shitty mood. And those go just as well as positive affirmations. It's nice if you can do them both at the same time. But the whole point to happiness is gratitude, being thankful for what you have or where you're at. And I try to get stupid with it. Like when I pray and I do at the end of every prayer, I always thank God for the day, thank God for things that I have. And I'll go down as much as like thanking for my eyesight. I've got this gratitude affirmations video that I watch. I try to watch every morning. I watch most mornings. It's just on YouTube called Gratitude Affirmations. And it's super basic. It's like, I thank God for my eyes. I thank God for my toes. I thank God for my muscles. I thank God for, my family. I think, just stupid shit that people don't even think about. Like, I'm thankful for my hands. Really? I don't know. But I mean, how the fuck would you feel if you didn't have your hands? You'd be pretty fucking thankful that you got your hands if you didn't have your hands, right. And so it's like everything. You can be grateful for anything. I mean, you could be sitting there right now looking at us or listening to this podcast going, well, fuck you. You guys have companies and you have things. I'm living in, on a mattress on the floor and I ain't got shit.
If you're listening to a podcast, you have some sort of privilege out there.
But either way, you got your life, motherfucker.
That's
you
what
got
I'm saying.
Breath, you got eyes,
an internet connection. You have probably an iPhone or something like you.
There's always shit to be grateful for.
Something I want to say, I know it's on your list about community, being around positive, savages, killers, stuff like that. Something that my very successful aunt who runs a freight brokerage told me, she bestowed upon me one time, which it was like groundbreaking for me, was we're talking about like financial goals and talking about all this stuff and crazy stuff happening in the world. And she's like, yeah, you're going to notice that, 95% of the people in your life, they're not comfortable talking about money. They're not, you could tell them like, whatever, this is happening, conspiracy. And like, they'll much rather just say, oh no, I don't think so. That's not it. As opposed to just look into it and find. So there's certain people in your life that if you have goals, they're going to tell you because of their own limiting beliefs.
Yep.
They just want to be told exactly what to do, where to be. They want to go home at the end of the day and watch the fucking Kardashians or watch fucking NFL or whatever's on TV and just zone out. But there's really only about 5, maybe 10% of people that you can actually talk to that are going to get it and say like, dude, that's a badass idea. So you were talking about like an online business. Mm-hmm. Fuck, dude. When I said that shit at the beginning, even my own wife, she's like, I love her to death, but she's like, no one wants an online personal trainer.
Right.
And then once I did finally start getting a couple clients, I'm thinking I've seen them. And people are obviously investing in them or they wouldn't exist. Someone would have tried it, they would have failed, and then people would have moved on. But they're out there. I see them. And then it was, I think, personal trainers, don't make as much as you think they do. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's not her.
What did I say?
You're like, you can do it. Yeah. You're like, sky's the limit, man. As big as you can
get it.
Think about it, you can make it. Yep. That's been the case. So that's just important. If you have ideas or you want to start like a woodworking company or whatever it is, there's going to be people that are like, you have a good job. You should be thankful for what you have, and you should, but they're not going to get it. So it's very important to find people that have done stuff.
I would say that's when you're on the right track.
Yeah.
Is when people aren't getting it.
Right. Good point.
Yeah.
But you'll find just because the vast majority of people are telling you that it's not a good idea or it's not going to work, you're right.
Dude, I just saw this fucking meme yesterday, and this goes perfect to what you just said. The Queen's Gambit. Mm-hmm. I haven't watched that shit. It doesn't sound good to me. But it's had like millions, like a lot, like 63 million views or some shit. I mean, it's fucking popular. That dude that wrote that shit took 30 years to write it, 9 rewrites, and even on the last rewrite that's the success now, through those 30 years went to every producer studio in Hollywood, and every single studio told him, no one's going to want to watch shit about chess, bro. Like, no, get out of here. Every single one. It took him 30 years to get it produced, and now it's one of the biggest fucking shows on TV.
Yeah.
Like, that dude stayed true to his passion and what he wanted for 30 fucking years. And now he's fucking blown up.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
I believe it, though,
like,
man.
That shit's crazy. Fucking Amazon, Bezos, which I don't really care for Amazon or Bezos, but it's still a crazy fucking story. I mean, that guy, there's pictures of him with Amazon drawn on a piece of paper written on his wall with his little like Dell computer in his office, worth nothing. Just a dude in a dream. And now it's one of the biggest fucking companies in the world.
I believe part of that story. I think some of it's fucking bullshit.
Well, whatever. I'm just saying the dream is out there, man. Yes. The goal's out there. And I do want to get back to the people, but I want to make another point, or to the who you surround yourself with. But I want to make another point first that popped up in my mind before I forget about it. One of the biggest things to this you versus you is you are only going to, not only can you limit yourself or propel yourself through self-talk, as far as like, negative self-image, a positive self-image, a positive affirmations, things of that nature. But whatever you believe that you can do is what you can do.
So think big.
That's the biggest fucking thing in life. Whatever you believe you can do is what you can do. Dude, I mean, this goes with anything, with being a parent, with having a job that's flexible. If you believe that, hey, I'm just destined to work in a cubicle and I can never have a job where I can travel or have time to be with my family or time to vacation or whatever, that's what's going to be in your life. That's what's going to present itself in your life. But if you sit there and go, no, there's got to be a way that I can figure out how I can have a job and still have a balanced family life and still be able to travel and take vacations with my kids, that's going to come out. If you sit there and think, man, I'm tapped. I got a good company going. I'm an entrepreneur, but I'm tapped at 5 million and that's just where I sit. Or I'm tapped at 2 million and that's just where I sit. That's where you're going to fucking be, bro. But if you sit there and say, no, there's other guys that have taken this and I can see them. They've taken this and blown it up to 10 million. I can get to 10 million. Whatever you believe you can do is what you can do. And, God, it's crazy to me how just having that expanded mindset is always going to take you farther. And when you don't believe that we talked about this before. I think we did a podcast on limits, but, if you set limits on yourself, you're always going to be limited. If you don't have any limits on yourself, you're unlimited.
Dude, same fucking aunt that I was just talking about. I think the same conversation she was telling me. She put out when she was hiring.
Quick. And people don't want you to be unlimited. Like the government doesn't want you to be unlimited. People don't want you to be unlimited because unlimited is not controlled. Like we're putting this box from kids through school from the beginning of like fit in this little fucking paper box, sit at your desk and don't move for 8 hours a day. You get 2 15-minute recesses or whatever the fuck it is. It's not fucking normal. Like everybody's watch this TV, get put in this box. That's how we're brought up. That's how everybody's brought up. And it's all limiting. People want the government not to get like crazy, but people want people limited so that they can control them. That's what the whole thing about a society is. You got to control it to be able to supposedly protect everybody. But when you believe that you can do anything that you want, you are fucking limitless. Like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says about me or anything that I want to do. If I believe that I can do it, I'm going to fucking do it. Like, that's it. And it's crazy to me. Sorry to cut you off on a rant, man. I just had to get this out, but
I love it.
It's crazy to me how when I am limitless, I'm starting coaching right now. So just throw it out there. I'm starting a coaching program. I'm going to start coaching clients. I don't have it all yet, but I've hired a coach to develop my program, and it's going to be fucking legit. And the crazy thing is I've surrounded myself, and this goes back to the Savages, but I've surrounded myself with such badass fucking dudes that are so growth minded that, and I believe in it so much that I've actually got buddies that I've told about it that are now like, you know, well, what's it going to be about? And I kind of explain a little bit, and they're like, oh, it's going to work. No, I know it's going to work, you know? And so now, like, I've actually got my own self-doubt to where I'm like, fuck, is it really going to work? I mean, I think it's going to work, but is it really going to work? But now I got buddies that surround me that are like, no, bro, it's going to fucking work. I can already tell it's going to work. And when you believe in yourself that much, other people believe in yourself that much, and that's how you always propel forward.
So, man, now you said like something I want to talk about, two different things.
Yeah.
Limits. Aunt tells me she put out a Facebook ad when she was hiring for the first time, and it says no degree needed, no experience needed, just need to work this many hours a week, be good on the phone, be good with people, pay 6 figures. And she boosted it. It got like a couple thousand views, no calls, no inquiries, nothing. Took the exact same ad, brought it down from pay 6 figures to pays 40 grand a year, blows up. And that's just because people in their own mind are like, oh,
they're in
well,
the box, bro.
You know, I could never make 6 figures.
Yep.
I'm only making 35 right now. I don't have experience. It says that, but you know,
that's not for
too
me.
good to be true. That's,
Yep.
you know, for someone else.
Yep.
So now she gets to hire like more than double the amount of people. She's like, oh, like, fuck me. I thought I was going to get some killers with the 6 figures, but no one even inquired, which they would have got that salary. But what you were just talking about, and I think this will be good to know with your coaching program. This was solid advice for me, actually, from Grego Gallagher, the Keno Body guy.
Okay.
He said that he sold his first. Now his program's different; it's very cookie cutter and whatever, but it's like $200 or whatever. And once he sold his first program, he was like, "Oh shit!" Like, proof of concept done.
Right.
Now I just have to do it on a massive scale.
Right.
So once you get your first sale, it's like, okay, done. It wasn't a one-off. There's so many people that if you can help one guy and he's invested and he says, oh, that's 100% worth it. You don't need to have 20 people do it to say, okay, this might work. As soon as you first get that number one sale, you're like, oh, okay, done. Now we just got to rock and roll.
Yep.
And that's huge.
Yep, I know.
And I think it'll only be like a few weeks before you get your first sale, and then blow it up from there.
Yeah, my fucking coach gets back to me, Joseph Aaron. We gotta roll, brother. Haven't heard back from me in 2 days. Let's get this going. No, but I'm working on it. It's gonna be fucking legit. There'll be more to come on that in the future. But it's coming together. Joel and I are going to be in different lanes, so we're not competing. Mine will have fitness attributes, but it's not designed totally around fitness. It's more of like a full balanced lifestyle for entrepreneur dads type program. So we have zero tolerance for failure, positive affirmations, positive self-talk. We've got around that, and surrounding yourself. I surround myself with savages. That's what I told them. Surrounding yourself with savages, or surrounding yourself with good people.
That also comes with cut out the fucking bullshit people in your life, and we all know who they are. It's easier said than done, but you got to ask yourself: do you want to elevate, get to that next level, not only for yourself, but for your family and for the people around you and the people that actually matter? Or do you want to, impress your friends from high school that aren't going anywhere, but you're still feeling like you need to hang out with them and drink 12 beers, fucking be hungover for 2 days, not get anything done? You really can't have both.
Have you noticed, this is funny, I was just thinking about this. Have you noticed that we have not been kicking it like we used to, barely kicking it anymore like we used to, but in a good way since we've both been elevating even more in our lives? Like, it's not
a lot though.
No, we do. I'm not saying our relationship's shitty, but we used to go kick it and go get fucked up. That was kind of our thing. You know, we go to Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks ain't even around anymore and here in Omaha, but we go to Twin Peaks, we get beers, look at some women,
shots of tequila,
tequila. And it was a good time. That was kind of our thing. And we'd go talk about business and still growth minded shit, but that was kind of our thing. But I feel like we both kind of turned it up 10 times. We 10x'd it the last few months, both of us. And our goals have gotten so much bigger and bigger and bigger that it's just a different lifestyle. It's a different way to live your life, but it's cool. I guess what I'm saying is it's cool that we're both still growth minded people in each other's circles and we're kind of pushing forward at the same time, And I was thinking about it because I want to start waking up at 4 a.m. And I've been waking up at like 5:30 every morning, but I really want to start waking up at 4 a.m, going to bed at 8:00 at night. And I feel like that's my full fucking beast routine. If I can wake up at 4, I got to get adequate food before I hit the gym. You know what I mean? So waking up at 5:30 and hitting the gym doesn't work for me because I have to work at 7. It's not enough time to eat all the fucking meals, let it process, and get to the gym, Plus, I want to do positive affirmations. I want to do other shit in the morning. But if I can wake up at 4, man, I can have a good hour to eat, let it process, do some meditating, some shit like that, get to the gym, go about my business, work, be done by 5, and have a solid set time from 5 to like 8 that's for my son. You know what I mean? Opposed to trying to still fit in like, oh shit, I got another workout to do at 6:00 or whatever. That's taken away from my family time.
Let's do a 31 day challenge January 1st.
I'm down. The only thing that fucks that for me is snow. Like it's going to be snowing all fucking January. When it snows, I'm up for like 2 to 3 days straight. So I can't really it's inconsistent. You know what I mean? But I really want to do this. And I was thinking about it and The Rock does it. So why the fuck can't I do it? And so I really want to do it. And I was thinking about it. I was like, man, that's going to like change. I already don't go out, but that's going to change my lifestyle even more. I'm going to be seeing less people. Like right now, the only time I see people is at the gym. If I go in the evening or the afternoon, then I run into some friends at the gym, and that's kind of like my social outlet every day, And it's like if I'm working out at 5 a.m, 4 or 5 a.m, and go to bed at 8, that changes my whole like circle. Like I'm not going to be around anybody. There's barely anybody in the gym at 4 a.m, definitely not anybody I probably know. And it's just such a funny thing to think about. I guess I don't know where I'm going. I do. It's so weird to look at, but I'm cool with it. I'm happy with that and content because I know that I'm being my best self that I can possibly be in that routine. I'm giving the most to my physical body. I'm giving the most to my mental body. I'm giving the most to my work, and I'm giving the most to my kid by doing that routine. You know what I mean? I'm not pulling from my family time to match my fitness time. It's balanced all the way around if I can get this routine down. And so it's like, I'm not going to have as much time to see people or see my buddies in the gym or, talk to people late at night or grab a drink or whatever, which I don't really drink anyways. But I'm okay with it because that's where I am in life. I just want to be like, I have so much drive and so much force just to be the best version of myself that I can be, that those sacrifices to me they're worth the word I'm thinking of. They're worth it, but they're almost like they're satisfying. It feels good. And the friends that I have around in my circle, I'm still going to talk to daily anyways. You know what I mean? You still got weekends and stuff like that.
What if we did a 31 day, 4 a.m., but we both got three lifelines?
I love challenges. I just don't know how many times it's going to snow, man. I mean, when it snows in January, it usually snows like January, February here. We usually get a snow week. I mean, 3. Yeah, I'd probably need at least 4. I don't know. I could probably do it with 3. We'd have to see. I don't want to fail, though.
3 lifelines.
3 lifelines. That's what it is. 31 days.
Let's do it, man. I need someone to do it with. Because if I have a lot of shit going on, there was about a 2-week period. It was about 6 months ago now. I hired a coach to help me build out a sales team. I hired 2 sales guys, but in my business, I can't just hire 2 sales guys and that's it. I need to bring on more coaches. I need to alter basically the whole program.
Yep.
I needed to bring on someone to help me customize workouts. So in 2 weeks, I just was setting my alarm, waking up at 4 a.m. every day. And that was the most productive fucking 2 weeks.
I'm telling you, dude.
I hired 4 new people. I rebuilt out the whole program and didn't skip a fucking beat. And it felt so good. And I've been capitalizing on it.
And it had to feel good going to bed earlier too.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate going to bed late.
Once you get the momentum going, that second week of waking up early, it's no big deal. And there's only one other guy at the gym. We'd give each other the nod, like, "Oh, you motherfucker,
Yeah, you're a beast too, huh? Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I got you.
It feels good.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the first day, he sees me and he's like, all right, well, this guy might just not have been able to sleep. But then day after day, you're earning the respect, like, oh, no, I'm here, motherfucker. I'm coming.
I got this. Last thing I really want to say, fuck, I hope I didn't just lose it. Damn it. Keep talking, Joel. I got to think.
Well, one thing I wanted to say is another big problem that seems to come easier for you than it does me is fucking think big, man, because you're right. If you say, all right, I want to build $1 million business, and you work really hard and everything goes right, but you just outkicked your coverage as far as the goal goes, and you only built a 600 grand business, then fuck, it's way better than saying I want to make 6 figures and even hitting it.
Right, right.
Who gives a fuck?
100%. Yeah,
it's 6 times better.
Yep.
So think big, because Amazon again. I'm sure if you had told him when he was trying to sling some books that he was going to be the richest guy in the world, he probably would have been like, hell yeah. Otherwise, if he didn't think like that, he wouldn't have got there.
Right.
But think big.
100%. I think I might have lost it again. But
Jesus.
Yeah, I had it there for a minute, but fuck. What was it? Ad lib a little more.
Freestyle?
Yeah, freestyle rap.
Okay,
freestyle beat. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so you versus you. Oh, that's what it was. All right, so what I want to end with is, do I struggle with the same stuff everybody else struggles with on a daily basis? Yes. Does it get easier? Yes. And the reason that it does get easier, we've talked about this a lot on this podcast, is because of momentum, right? So I built the momentum to do these things in my life that make me feel good and make me be successful in where I want to be towards my goals and my passion in life, and just how I want to live my life, the way that I see myself, my self-image of me and where I want to be for me and my family. If I'm fulfilling that, then I feel good. You know what I mean? So when I first started this, like say we do this challenge, right? Waking up at 4 a.m. at first is going to suck balls. It's going to blow. I'm going to fucking hate waking up at 4 in the morning. I'm not going to like it. I'm going to want to snooze it and sleep in every single morning. But a couple weeks into it, I guarantee you I'm waking up without the alarm, feeling good about it. All right, crushing another day. You have that momentum going of winning. You have that momentum going of crushing your goals. You have that momentum going of doing whatever the fuck it is that you want to do in your life and actually succeeding in it and excelling in it. And that feels good. And once you get that feel good, that momentum going, then it's easier, man. And you're still going to have those thoughts that come up. It's still going to be you versus you as far as limiting mindset. And that's something that you still have to be cognizant of. But once you get that positive, once you get that momentum, that positive forward momentum going, it's easier. So yeah, that's really it, man. For a guy that would sit there and say, you got it all going on, you guys are so inspiring, or you guys are so driven, or, you're always chasing your goals. You don't really deal with that stuff, do you? Yeah, I do, man. I do. Just like you, just like anybody else. Is it easier for me to get up than others? Maybe, because I've got this momentum built up and it's like clockwork. Possibly, but you're still going to have those things you got to deal with in your mind, and it's still going to be you versus you. And I think the biggest thing to combating that, honestly, is just knowing that it doesn't matter what anybody else says in your life. Fuck what anybody else says. Fuck what anybody else thinks. Shit doesn't matter. What matters is what you tell you, how you talk to you, what you believe you can do. And if you believe that you can do something, you're going to achieve it. Might take you 30 fucking years like Queen's Gambit, but you're going to achieve it.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll mention is, we've talked about this before too, but it's important enough that it warrants repeating. If you're constantly trying to stay in your comfort zone and be comfortable, it's just... not only are you probably not going to succeed to a high level, but also you're going to find that you are less happy. Because if you think about it, if you're always trying to seek comfort, when you're comfortable, you're happy. And then as soon as something happens and you're not comfortable, fucking life sucks. Whereas if you can do the opposite and actively try to seek out being uncomfortable and actually get comfortable in that area, well, now when you're uncomfortable, you're happy. And when comfort comes along, it's fucking nice. But it's fleeting. It's there. You enjoy it for a little bit, but then you're going to go back to the uncomfortable. Speaking of 31-day challenges, I think I'm going to do that here this year, is just do like monthly challenges. And as you know, I've been doing jujitsu and I fucking hate it, but it's one of those things about being uncomfortable,
right?
Getting your fucking ass kicked every morning. But I think that I'm also going to start taking some boxing classes in January.
Nice.
And
I
literally
love boxing, dude.
Just for 31 days on top of, if we do this,
get the iced tea.
Oh,
See
yeah,
that shit?
the twisted tea.
The twisted tea, smack in the face.
That was badass.
That was badass. That dude didn't know how to throw hands, though. You could tell once he hit him with the tee and the other dude got back up, he was like, oh, fuck. He just grabbed him. He was bigger.
Oh, I didn't see the whole video. I just saw they made it like a
the dude, like, he gets back up and you could tell the guy, like, didn't even put his hands up. He was like, oh, shit. And then he just grabs him, like, wrestles him. Then he punches him a couple times.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Still funny as fuck, though.
Just practicing what I preach, man. I don't want to go get fucking punched in the face. I'm not like the world's best fighter by any means.
Yeah.
I'd much rather sleep in and go get my ass kicked jujitsu rolling or fucking getting punched in the face by someone that knows what they're doing. But I know that if I commit to going and fighting every day in some sort of capacity all through January, come fucking February, man, good luck throwing shit at me that is going to throw me off my game. I'm used to getting fucking punched in the face and waking up and fighting every day. And if you're physically fighting, then you can mentally fight. So that's what I'm telling myself for January here.
All right. Well, this has been You Versus You. Don't punch yourself in the face for 2021.
Yeah, don't half rep that shit.
Don't half rep that shit. Full reps only. This is Dads Who Lift, and we do full reps only. All right, guys. This has been You Versus You. Thanks for tuning into the Dads Who Lift podcast. Please give us a like, share, 5-star review. Tell one friend. We want to grow organically. That's how this shit works. You tell one friend, they tell a friend. That's how we get this shit out to people. And we're just trying to add value, man. So if we added value to you in any way, you got to laugh. Perspective change, anything. We really appreciate a like, share, 5-star review, tell a friend. Really appreciate your support. Also love the guys that are DMing me too, or DMing Dads Who Lift, commenting on the podcast, talking with us, asking us questions. We love that shit. I love that shit. I love to be able to help people.
No one DMs me, so I would love it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe you'd reply. Maybe. I don't know. Dads Who Lift is always solid. DM Dads Who Lift, and we'll always get back to you, But we love that shit. That's what we're here for. So we are on all the social media platforms for the podcast: SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, all of them. We are on IG as Dads Who Lift Official. That's our IG handle. We're on Facebook, Dads Who Lift Podcast on Facebook. We also have apparel, badass hats, sweatshirts, shirts, sweet apparel for Dads Who Lift.
I fucking love this hat.
Yeah, I love this. It's my favorite
I've
one.
ever had.
I do like that.
Kind of stretches a little bit.
I do like that one.
I fucking love it.
That one is, that one's got the fucking stretchy inside.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a nice hat. But those are all on www.dadswholiftofficial.com. dadswholiftofficial.com. We also have a Facebook group. This is a group on Facebook if you're a dad who lifts. It's just a group full of like-minded dads that are trying to be their best selves, stay fit at the same time, like 37,000 dads in there, and growing. That is called Dads Who Lift That is called Dads Who Lift Official on Facebook. And again, it's a Facebook group. Check that out. Other than that, bringing the fucking new year right, guys. You versus you. You're the only one that's going to hold you back. So propel forward.
It's forever, this like forever, no surrender. It's forever, this like forever. I bigger dead than alive, bigger dead than alive. I bigger dead than alive, dead than alive. Yeah, I bigger dead than alive, bigger dead than alive.